What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. It's gonna be fun to hang out for just a few minutes here. And like I said the other day in my I broke injury video, that I'd be doing a live stream to announce the winner of that rehab recovery story contest. Couple of little updates from me. It's the end of a busy week. I'm starting to feel really good. I can actually take like a hobble step or two. Doesn't feel great, but it doesn't feel like it's super painful. So I'm making improvements. Definitely making improvements. Oh, what's up, Mr. Rubin? So guys, check this out. I can stand up and I can take like a few steps without my crutches. More than a few steps now, really. I can get around without them a little bit, but I can't like walk into a store and walk all around the house without them. So, what's up, seasonal obsession? No backflips, bro. Not right now. So yeah, crutches, I'm still on them, probably till next week, but I think by next week I'll be good enough I don't have to use. What's up, Carlos? I won't have to use the crutches. Quick updates for me beyond the whole injury thing. Well, I'm feeling quite a bit better. Yeah, my wife also got pretty badly hurt, but she's gonna be fine. She just had a little finger injury, so we've been dealing with that. It wasn't that little, needed surgery. I put my new bike together. Check this thing out, show you guys. I got my own Ripley size medium. Next week, I'll be uploading the build video, kind of a build vlog on how I put this thing together and why I built it the way I did. There's a few cool things going on here. Notice extra big, extra cushy saddle. I really like the Pure Fox Float Factory DPS shock. Smaller volume. Oh, what up, Obsession? Yeah, I think it came out super clean too. Thanks, man. I am running hand guards. There's a ton of stinging nettle this time of the year. Got some rad wheels with some surprises there. And I do have an angle set on here, so I'm excited to ride this thing. Cool. Well, we got quite a few people tuning in here, so we can start cruising through the recovery stories. Bear with me. I went through, there was a ton to read through. It took me like 2 hours to read through all 300 and change stories. So yeah, I took a few notes and then I started running out of time to take more notes. Let me get a few of these comments real quick. Jesse, when you say what are those, it's probably my trust fork. Thanks for asking. Jared, the doctors, it depends which one I talk to. So typical of doctors, you always meet some that tell you it's gonna be months until you ride again, and you meet some that are like, a few weeks, you'll be able to walk. A few more weeks, you could probably ride, just don't fall on it. So it all depends on the doctor that you talk to. I personally think I'll be walking without crutches by next week. I can already pedal around the parking lot. I can't ride trails, and I really cannot fall on that side. Pain level is pretty low with pelvic injuries. Like, it definitely hurts, and the iliac crest 2 years ago hurt really bad. But yeah, this one, I have moments in lots of pain, but I look at pain as not when it breaks in like the next day or two, but like the couple weeks afterwards, and it's not that bad. Like, there's an ice pick in my crotch from getting in and out of bed or sneezing or getting in and out of the car. Crawling into the shower is not fun, but other than that, it's really not bad. It's not like something that's constantly aching. So I think I'll be riding around town and around the fire roads probably early August, so 2-3 weeks out, and then I'll probably be able to ride more aggressive trail, stuff that you guys will want to watch by late August. So yeah, great question, Jared. What's up, B-side? Yeah, I'm stoked on the Ripley. It should be fun. Thanks, man. What up, Gustavo? ¿Qué tal? Thanks, guys. You know, 4DRX, I actually have a few vlog ideas, and I might have something special coming with more vlogs there. So yeah, stay tuned. I like doing the vlogs, and if you guys like watching them, then I'll definitely do more, because it's always good to be doing those. What's going on here? Why can't I see the chats all of a sudden? Oh, I gotta swipe. There it is. Dave, I'm not done with traditional forks on long travel bikes. Like my Ripmo, I'm still using a traditional fork. So the message is just a 130 travel fork. So on a bigger hit application, you know, there's not a Trust Performance fork for that. So Let's see. Just don't fall on it. Yeah, I got to be smart and not ride single track trails fast, aggressively. I'm really gonna not ride trail. I'm gonna be taking it very mellow. I cannot afford to fall on this thing. If I were to re-break it, it could require surgery. And this was a bad injury. This is like, usually it's older people that break this and it's like very sketchy for them. For me, luckily the bleeding inside wasn't too bad. So yeah, I was pretty lucky. What's up, Waldo in Dominican Republic? Awesome. Well, what up, Danielle in Chile? So let's go through some of these comments you guys left me. I really appreciate all of these, and I read through all of them. It took forever, but it was rad. Man, one of them I really liked, Dalna. Don't know if it was a guy or a girl. The story was crashed in the desert in Arizona, got flung into a saguaro and stuck to it like Velcro, and had to peel off one spine at a time. I don't know if it's true or not, but I would love to have seen that. Oh, it sounds so painful. Oh. Woods Rida, who's been following my channel for a long time, had a great story about terrible saddle sores, getting in the car with a chamois and driving or something, and just had to put like a whole jar of baby powder on his crotch in order to ride, or just to live, basically. And the next day was able to ride Squamish by just standing up the entire time. That's some dedication right there. So, better you than me on that one. Let's see, a couple other good ones. Patrick Ward mentioned the Nate Hills perspective video. I thought that was a great video. I actually watched most of that video thanks to Patrick's comment. Nate's a good friend of mine, and that was a good video to watch. That was inspiring. Daniel Pastrana had a huge injury, and he was back riding 3 months later. That was awesome. OFPOV, broken femoral head, got back on the bike a little while later at 58 years old. That's gnarly. There was 3 or 4 broken femoral heads in the whole thing, a bunch of broken backs, a couple humeruses, a bunch of collarbones, and a few ankles, tib fibs. What's up, Isaac? What else we got here? Ian Gillies had some bad back injuries. Tyler Burke. Tyler had a really cool story about tearing was it a tricep or breaking his humerus? I forget the exact injury, but Tyler's story was really cool, and I liked it because he got into trail running and did a bunch of trail running with his injury because his upper body. When I did my shoulder in Costa Rica, I couldn't even trail run for quite a while because any movement that shook it was just excruciating. But Tyler here is able to get back into trail running, did tons of trail running, and then had a trail running injury. Oh, bummer. True to you, Simon. Got to get better soon, bud. Garth Gourley had a pretty good story about riding the Port Gamble cross-country trails. What's up, Josh Kelly? And those trails are pretty mellow. I filmed them for the Ripley video. Beautiful trails, fun, but not gnarly. And so Garth had a crash there, caught a pedal on like the one built-up trail, and broke his shoulder, collarbone, bunch of soft tissue stuff. 6 months off the bike, no progress. Doctors are like, dude, you're not gonna make it back anytime soon. And then he went on a trip to Flagstaff after totally changing his diet and lifestyle to be more healthy. And on that trip to Flagstaff, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Sedona and ride. And he did, and felt way better. He hadn't ridden yet, I guess. It was just diet and lifestyle change. And he felt way better. And all of a sudden the recovery was killing it. So, what's up, Civil? Thank you. So yeah, I'm a big fan of good diet, good lifestyle, and that helps your recovery a ton. Notice I'm drinking Spindrift on a Friday night and not some kind of a beer or anything. I'm trying to heal up fast, get some videos going, have some fun. Jason Hatfield came back from a moto injury to be even faster on his bike. That's surprising, but I believe it. Mackenzie Elsner had a horrible crash, 2 broken femurs, an eye socket, a bunch of ribs. And I guess she took 10 years off the bike, and then 2 weeks ago just got back into mountain biking thanks to a trip to Downeyville. I guess she was riding on the road and then gravel. So Mackenzie, welcome back to mountain bikes. I'm so sorry about your big crash. Congrats on getting back on the horse. That's a great story. Naked Mountain Biker, AKA Craig Fisher. He had a pretty gnarly story about a benign. What's up, Peter? Thanks, man. So Craig Fisher had this gnarly story about having a brain tumor. It was benign, no cancer, but given him all kinds of issues. And he decided he's already signed up to race the BMX World Championships in Australia. Hopped on the plane, flies down there, races, wins his class, Masters 40 plus, flies back, gets surgery a couple days later to remove the tumor out of his head. That's gnarly. That's a good recovery. That's a good getting it done story. Technically, the contest is for a recovery, and that was like getting it done before the surgery, but still, kudos. That's rad, Craig. Dave Lerner had a really good story. My favorite stories here are ones where people take a disadvantage, an obstacle, like an injury, and turn it into an advantage, kind of turn their life around or improve in some way. So the one that learned followed that ethos quite a bit. But yeah, Dave Lerner's story was really cool, and I liked it because with his off-bike time, he managed to sell his old bike and piece together a much better new one by getting lots of used stuff off the Pink Bike Classifieds. That's really smart. That's genius. If I got hurt, I would totally do that. In the past, when I've gotten hurt, I've gone to the gym a bunch and done tons of exercises for the rest of my body. So it was easier to do years before when I had more free time, before family, kids, responsibilities. But yeah, Dave Lerner's story is cool too because his first drive back, he had a flip-flop zip tied to the bottom of his cast. That's ridiculous. That means he's on his new bike, so he's excited. But when I was 19 or 20, I shattered my navicular, my foot, trying to ride flat pedals on a downhill bike, got ejected, broke it really bad. No surgery, thank goodness, but I was in super good shape. I was semi-pro class, probably the best shape of my life, all amped up. Alex, there's a couple of vasectomy stories, actually, a couple. One of you got back on the bike in 6 days. The other guy waited a few weeks. But yeah, I was off for a while with that broken foot, and then I was just so antsy. I felt like I needed to get moving, so I cut the cast off myself, wore a walking boot, and then I started riding with a walking boot on a flat pedal and just shredded a bunch. I shouldn't have done that, but my whole theory was start spinning as much as I could and pedaling, get the blood flowing. I didn't have a trainer yet back then. That's why I did that. Dirt time, 12 o'clock, crashed on a double in British Columbia, crashed on a double in BC in May of 2018 and wasn't able to ride again until March 2019. And I liked his story because he had a broken sacrum. I cracked my sacrum. It's painful, but at least doesn't need surgery. Shepsky had a good story about what's up, Murph? No, I'm not on the East Coast. I'm here in the Pacific Northwest. Bellingham, Washington, specifically. Check out a few of these comments here. Keep them rolling in. Thanks, guys. We got quite a few of you watching this. 44 people. That's awesome. If you guys want to smash that like button, it'll help get this higher up in the feed and more folks will see, and I guess it'll grow my channel, which I should be pumped on trying to grow the channel. I'm more pumped on making content than I am on growing the channel, to be honest. It seems kind of contrived to try to just grow the channel, but I truly want to make good content. So, John, gnarly. Oi. Anyhow, yeah, proper lifestyle and diet really helps a ton with recovery. And when an injury inspires something like that, that's a cool story, always. A few other good stories here. Jordan Hotman had a good story. I liked that he just got a new bike, was out skiing, had a bad crash, broke his leg. His wife is pregnant, and then wife had to help him a ton while he's broken, and then ends up getting getting better by just totally staying tuned to the physical therapy, was able to ride the new bike and even ski before the kid was born. So that's a good, solid recovery. Nothing like a little proper motivation of a new bike staring you down. I've got this new bike, trying to look at the screen and see it behind me. I've got that new bike staring me down, inspiring me to get back on the recovery train as fast as I can. Jim Wintermeyer had a great story about crashing in Santa Cruz. Ooh, walk in peace. Yeah, ouch. Ugh. Anyhow, Wintermeyer had a great story about crashing NUC in Santa Cruz, and some random passerby was an EMT and realized the dude had a really bad head injury and drove him to the hospital. Thank goodness that mountain biker helped. So those are illegal trails, and it's tough to call the cavalry on illegal trails. So it's really cool that mountain bike rider went ahead and stepped up to the occasion and helped that dude get to the emergency room, dropped him off, brought his bike and everything. That's a massive good deed. And that's like one less emergency call to the illegal trails. That's just better for everything and everyone. And this is like a guy who knows what he's doing, so he's not gonna endanger someone by moving a spinal cord injury or anything like that. So anyhow, I'm glad Jim's gonna be okay. I've had a bunch of concussions too. You really have to take those seriously, but yeah, they do heal with time. Mr. Ghost had a great idea about doing a video all about, thanks Damien. Mr. Ghost had an idea about doing a video all about health insurance and the ins and outs of applying for it and all that, which is a good idea. Bike for, thank you. Look at that, a super chat rolls in, awesome. Thanks, man. I make almost no money on YouTube. I think I'm at $150 for the month with YouTube, so yeah, my whole strategy has not been to grow the channel and play the YouTube game. I don't really like looking for attention like that. I do like making content, but I'm not really that good at like the whole like look at me game. So my strategy has not been to grow on YouTube, and I'll never make much money on YouTube. So super chat like that helps. That's great. Thank you. Sitting low. That's a great question. I really liked my old standard TRLS 250. I really wanted a trail boss. Mostly because I thought that was a rad name, and I thought Isaac McCree was a great dirt jumper. And when I was able to get one, the bike was discontinued and the TRLS 250 came out. So that's the bike I got in 1999. And then I always wanted an S&M call girl, Chasing Nar, Colin's little sister. I think we met once or twice over the years. What's up? Colin Hughes' little sister? Anyhow. Yeah, so I got an S&M call girl from a buddy in college. He loaned it to me, and this is like years after I wanted it. Oh, 125R Cruiser, that's rad. But yeah, I had an S&M call girl cruiser, liked that thing quite a bit. A friend ended up having it with him and got in some trouble, and I never saw it again. So easy come, easy go. But that was a neat bike. I just met Sean Butler, the guy who that bike was designed for, signature bike, yada yada, at the Shire Jam. He came up here from SoCal and hanging out. That was super cool. Anyhow, oh, Ride B-Side. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's really nice. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's awesome. That helps me out. I'm not making much money doing this. It's kind of like month to month, and I'm trying hard, but I'm making it work. Instead of just like living off the money I am able to earn from sponsors, I treat it like a business and hire helpers and try to grow it. So my take-home pay is very low, but I feel like I'm building something that'll last for a while and treating it more like a business than just like a make money for myself or whatever. My main goal with this is to build a platform I can use to help advocacy groups grow. And yeah, that's my end goal. Anyhow, Mr. Ghost's idea about a video about health insurance, when open enrollment is, how that works, how a deductible works, and just kind of break it down to mountain bike English. That's kind of a good idea. I like it. My wife works in the health industry, so she's given me a lot of good insight and all that. And there's a few things like AFLAC policies that I don't even have, but I should have. And there's also helicopter insurance you can get if you ever need a helicopter ride to the airport. So that's pretty cool. I should get that helicopter insurance. I had it at IBIS. They have it for all their employees. So, oh, thanks, Waldo. Appreciate it. My stuff's, it's stuff I believe in. It's genuine. It's real. If you meet me in real life, I'm pretty similar to what I do here. It's okay. It's fine. Oh, sorry to hear about that, man. Mr. Martinez. Eesh. The DB9's a cool bike. Sorry to hear about the wreck, though. Matthew Allen had a great story. He didn't want to enter in the Jensen gift card contest thing, but hi, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, so Matt Allen's wife had a bad crash, is a quadriplegic, but can ride a hand cycle. So quadriplegic means you just have some kind of an injury that has paralysis in upper and lower. It doesn't mean you're fully no hands or whatever. So that's cool that she's quad and she can still ride a hand cycle. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. So yeah, Matt's wife is a quadriplegic and started riding a hand cycle, has a route sorted out. She's back on the bike, getting out and about, and that sounds like she's in a much better spot. Everyone's saying hello to my mom. That's great. So that's a great story, Matt. And then the story that I really liked, two stories, and I'll read the runner-up one first. Let me see if I can find the actual thing, and I'll read that whole thing to you because it was pretty cool. Where did my tab go here? There it is. This system worked out okay. Oh, cool, Waldo, you've got a DV9 as well. Nice. Way cool. Walk in peace, yeah. So, and sitting low, real quick, I rode the Davenport Rampage skate park owned by Rick Moliterno, and that's why I wanted to get a standard bike one day. That, and they're made in Waterford, Wisconsin by hand. That's super cool. So let's read the runner-up story. I really liked it. It was super cool. So the screen name is S6P6H. Kind of looks like it's Sarah. So maybe it's Sarah. I don't know. I'll read it verbatim. Injury recovery indirectly led me to mountain biking. At 49 years old, I broke my wrist, shattered my elbow, damaged my aorta, and that can be life-threatening, and lost a third of a kidney in a motorcycle crash. 2 operations, some bone borrowed from my hip, lots of metal bits, and 10 days in hospital later, anything beyond sitting on the couch and watching TV was a struggle. Recovery started with some small, simple prescribed movements to get the joints mobile, then walking, then physiotherapy and light weights, and eventually cycling on a worn out old bike. Months later, the cycling led to a couple of friends from work inviting me to go mountain biking, or her or him or whomever, on an old rigid specialized hard rock with barely functioning brakes, and I was hooked. That's a great story. That's a horrible wreck. I'm so sorry, Sarah or S6P6H had to go through that. Bummer, but what a cool story. Like, their rehab and recovery led to a very positive life change. That's the kind of thing I really wanted to read, and I think that's a great story. Got hooked on bikes. That's a really cool story. So Sarah, thank you for sharing that with us. I'm glad you're on the bikes now. I'm glad you still have 2/3 of your kidney left. And I'm glad your aorta didn't kill you. Earthquake Jake died in a downhill race crash from smashing his aorta in an OTB wreck. So yeah, that's a very serious injury. I'm glad that came around and now you ride mountain bikes. Hopefully, I wear a chest plate when I'm not wearing a backpack. So I have a Fox Titan Under Armour chest plate, and I've been wearing that a little bit lately just because when I ride the Long Travel 29er, I end up going pretty fast pretty often, and I'm just like, I can't afford to have a really bad crash, and I just felt like wearing it lately and trying it. So anyhow, the winning story. I need a drum roll here. Let's see. Drum roll. All right, the winning story is how's that for a drum roll? So the winner is Dalton Zanetti, and his comment was liked 33 times, which is pretty cool. I thought it was a good story. I really liked the story, and I like that you guys responded well to it too. And honestly, I love interacting with you guys. I love all your support. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't for all of you providing the awesome audience. So Dalton Zanetti, I'll read his story to you. And I like the way that this took something that was challenging, an obstacle, and he turned it into a positive life change and made the best out of it. So Dalton's story. I hope you have a quick recovery, man. Back in 2011, I was hit by a car on my college campus riding my BMX bike to class. It was the driver's fault. I had a compound tib-fib break in my left leg and had to have a titanium rod inserted down the middle of my shin. I was off the bike for a solid year and a half with about 8 months of physical therapy, and I had to drop out of college for a semester because I couldn't walk to class. This led to me taking time to change my major to a field I was more passionate about. I had to relearn to walk again. Super weird feeling, by the way, but you get pretty good with crutches after a while. Agreed with you there. In the meantime, I got into photography so I could take pictures of my friends riding bikes and stay in the scene as best I could. When I recovered fully, I got basically all my tricks back on the BMX bike, but the impact from BMX hurt my leg quite a bit, which led me to getting into mountain biking since the suspension takes away much of the impact of landing. I've now been riding mountain bikes for about 6 years. My leg almost never hurts after a ride, and it has completely taken over my life. Photography, mountain biking, not the broken leg, I hope. I got into racing a bunch of local races, and I'm probably the best shape I've ever been in thanks to mountain biking. On top of that, I'm doing freelance photography on the side of my day job, which I probably never would have gotten into if it wasn't for my injury. All in all, that accident completely shaped who I am and where I'm at today. Thanks for reading. So that's Dalton's story. I thought that was a pretty cool story. So Dalton Zanetti, I'm gonna drop you a note with my email address. Shoot me a note. I'll see if I can find your email address, and I'll get that Jensen $50 gift card over to you. Thank you for your comment. I wanna thank all 33 of you who hit the like button, and I wanna thank all 58 of you who are watching. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for checking out my channel. I appreciate the support. So on that note, I'm gonna stand up with my 2 legs and just take a couple of steps because might as well. I wanna thank you guys for 34 likes. You up to 35? 36 now, cool. Awesome. I wanna thank you guys all for tuning in. It's been a fun 26 minutes and 2 seconds. I gotta head home and have dinner with the family. It's kinda late here, so I'm blowing it. I need to be home with them, so. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Hope you all stay injury-free and have a wonderful summer. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks, Rich. I'll see you guys around.